on Q2, a dog napping caught on camera.
I was just in the next room cleaning up, and I must have walked out, and when I walked out of that room, that person could have came up and just grabbed her.
A Billings woman is pleading for help after her puppy is swiped from right outside her home. Plus, a controversial police stop. A Washington couple is pulled over for speeding on I-90, but that traffic stop takes an unexpected turn.
It was, we're taking your car and we're going to look through it. I said, it's because I'm Hispanic, it's because my girlfriend's Hispanic.
This couple is filing a formal complaint claiming they were discriminated against after the search for drugs turns up nothing. Tonight, we bring you both sides of the story, and we hear why Highway Patrol says they were suspicious. And that's where we begin tonight. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Russ Riesinger. That Washington couple has filed a formal complaint with the Montana Highway Patrol after they say they were pulled over for speeding but then searched for drugs, a search that turned up nothing. We bring in our Casey Conlon, who's been following this story, one you'll only see here on Q2.
Yeah, Russ, Louis Wright and Anna Guizar say they never consented to that search. Now, both Wright and Guizar are Latino, and they say there was no reason for MHP Trooper David Moon, who is white, to suspect drugs were in their car, and they believe his actions were racially motivated. We've obtained the dash cam video from Moon's car of the incident to let you make the decision about what happened. Friday, July 22nd, just before 8 a.m., MHP Trooper David Moon pulls Louis Wright and Anna Guizar over for speeding on I-90 near the Cenex refinery in Laurel. He clocked them going 82 in a 65. Moon goes to the passenger window where Wright is sitting, and Wright tells him they are traveling to see family in Chicago. Moon then asks Guizar, the driver, to come back to his patrol car with him, where he asks her a number of questions. MHP says this is not standard procedure, but is up to the trooper's discretion. Moon tells her he's going to give her a warning, but then requests to ask her more questions.
Go ahead, I think. You're okay with that? Okay. So what I do...
Moon then tells Guizar he's on the interdiction team, whose focus is to prevent drugs from crossing through Montana. It's unclear what prompted that line of questioning.
Anybody put any heroin in the vehicle? No. Anybody asked you to transport any
I realized I was speeding, but I don't know, like there's nothing in the car. We weren't...
No meth in the vehicle?
There's nothing in the car.
There's nothing in the car?
No.
No cocaine in the vehicle?
There's nothing in the car.
Moon then asked to search the vehicle.
Would you be good with me searching the vehicle?
No.
You would not?
No.
She just didn't feel it was right. I asked him, why are you giving us such a hard time? There's no reason for you to keep, going on about this other than racially profiling us.
MTN obtained a copy of Trooper Moon's narrative of the incident. He states, during the stop, I had noticed how the driver could quickly answer questions when I would ask her simple questions. When I would ask about the trip or illegal items, she would change. This was different from the normal motoring public. After Guizar exits Moon's patrol car, the trooper does not allow the couple to get back into their vehicle. Instead, he brings his canine Sammy out to do an open-air search around the car. MHP says a trooper must have probable cause to run a dog during a stop. Sammy immediately runs up and jumps up onto the open passenger window. Moon then walks her back to his vehicle and calls in the alert.
Canine alert.
His narrative states, Sammy indicated to the presence of illegal drug odors coming from the front passenger open window. Moon then makes the decision to seize the car and tells the couple he is going to seek a search warrant. A different trooper who had arrived on scene midway through the stop then drives Wright and Guizar to Bernie's Diner downtown, where they were told to wait.
Would not allow us to retrieve our cell phones, would not allow us to retrieve any money, nothing. It said, call us later so we can update you on your car. And I'm like, well, how would you like me to call you?
After the couple had breakfast, they were eventually picked up again by an MHP officer and taken to a hotel on the West End and paid for a room themselves. District Judge Ashley Harada signed off on a search warrant for the 2016 BMW at 2:17 p.m., and the car was returned to the couple around 6 p.m. with no items seized. Wright says the delay caused them to miss an important event the following day.
Clearly, we're not going to make our funeral tomorrow because this officer has abused his power. He's basically making us suffer because we did not allow him to search the car. The public needs to know what's going on, and it's unfair. It's racial profiling at its highest.
Sergeant Jay Nelson of the MHP released this statement to MTN. Illegal drugs are coming into Montana at an alarming rate and increasingly along the Seattle-Chicago transportation corridor. Troopers on the criminal interdiction team are trained to identify behaviors and fact patterns that could indicate drug trafficking. In this case, the trooper determined there was probable cause to request a search warrant for the vehicle. Wright and Huizar say they plan to seek legal action. Russ, back to you.
Tonight we're learning more about last night's deadly accident on Interstate 90 in Billings. According to the Montana Highway Patrol, that crash killed a 59-year-old Billings man and sent a 51-year-old man to the hospital. Happened right near the South Billings Boulevard exit. The man who died was driving a Chevrolet Cavalier when the Highway Patrol says a Dodge Ram pickup driven by the 51-year-old caused a 4-car chain reaction collision right before a construction zone. The patrol says the crash occurred when the pickup, traveling at a higher rate of speed, came up on a semi-trailer, the Cavalier and the Expedition as they began to slow for the construction zone. Investigators believe the pickup first hit the Expedition, which then collided with the Cavalier, causing them to spin out of control. The pickup then hit the rear trailer of the semi. Passerby started CPR on scene, but the driver was pronounced dead. Speed and alcohol are both considered factors in the crash.
What's your favorite season? Give you a second to think about that. Okay, time's up. We had the test results from Jamie, who is an administrator for a Facebook page, decided to ask a question online and do a poll. What's your favorite season? Had almost 300 total responses to it, so we thought we'd share them with you because I thought they were kind of fun. 6% of those polled said winter is their favorite season. I guess we can come up with some reasons why not. But spring, my favorite season, only scored 21%, a little bit better overall. Summer, how did you compare? 14%. That means that overall, fall far and away was the #1 favorite season. 54% the pumpkin spice people went out. We got a forecast that's going to be very hot as we get into the next couple of days, so I know only 14% of you are really going to appreciate it. We'll give you all the forecast details coming up in just a few minutes. And thanks, Jamie.
Well, theft is nothing new to Billings, but this one is definitely unique. This video shows a man walking into the yard of a Billings woman and stealing her puppy. Our Phil Van Pelt is following the story and tries to get to the bottom of the dog napping.
That 12-week-old puppy was stolen right here in Tracine Rowland's front yard. When she walked outside, the dog was just gone. But fortunately, the incident was caught on this camera right here behind me.
Blows my mind. It doesn't make me feel safe at all.
Brittany Hitt still can't believe what she saw on this doorbell camera Wednesday night. A stranger walks right up to her neighbor's home and runs off with her 12-week-old puppy.
I was literally right there. I was in a room that I could see her yard and the dog, and I turned around for a second, and next thing I know, they're coming home and the dog's gone.
Hitt feels especially terrible because she was watching the dog at the time. Her neighbor, Tracine Rowland, adopted Sealy about 4 weeks ago. Neither woman knows who dognapped the puppy.
They could live around here because we listened to the video more than once and we didn't hear no cars pull up or doors shut or anything.
Rowland is distraught over the theft and didn't want to speak on camera, but Hitt says Rowland's 2 kids are especially heartbroken.
It's really sad. It breaks my heart, to be honest with you, because those kids, that's their dog.
And she also knows the moment was traumatizing for Sealy.
In the video that we have, you can tell that she was scared because her tail was under her legs because she didn't know who that person was.
Both women hope someone will recognize the thief. It's a moment that's left them feeling violated and heartbroken.
What if it was one of our kids? Because our kids play together and run around, back and forth from her house to my house. And, just that split second of you just walking inside, someone could have taken your kid.
In Billings, Phil Van Pelt, MTN News.
A seemingly quiet neighborhood has had quite the excitement in the past couple months. Some car vandalism, some with baseball bats, and now with a paintball gun.
I went outside and noticed that I had paintballs all over my car and my neighbor's window was smashed out.
It's a frustration no one would want to deal with, and one that Elijah Madland has had to clean up not once, but twice.
I was pretty irritated. That's not something that's ever fun to clean off. Here I have 2 little ones right here that...
Madeline isn't the only one in this neighborhood near 8th and Avenue E who has had his car vandalized. A woman just a few blocks away on Avenue B tells MTN her car window was also shattered. And yet another woman sent MTN these pictures of the damage to her father's car a few months ago. And there are even more examples much closer to Madeline.
So my roommate's car got her back window blown out. And then there's a bug down the street that also got their window blown out. And then 2 or 3 months ago, our neighbor, their younger daughter also got her back window blown out.
MTN reached out to the Billings Police Department about the vandalism. BPD says these cases are steady, but they don't believe it is a part of a larger vandalism event. But that does little to ease concerns in this neighborhood.
We're very scared. We try to get our camera to go that far, but it's so hard to reach that far without getting a notification for every car that drives by, so.
As for Madeline, he's taken action into his own hands, hoping to catch anyone who dares to try this again.
I installed it because I'm hoping that my car will be vandalized again, even though that's weird saying, so I can figure out who's doing this.
In Billings, Haley Monaco, MTN News.
Still to come on the MTN 530 News here on Q2, a baseball lifer. Billings Scarlet's slick fielding shortstop is growing up in the game, and it's paying off in a big way. Alec catches up with Kyler Northrup in just a bit, but coming up next.
I'm Alina Howder. We'll tell you where you can soak up some art while you're outside. Coming up.
The MTN 530 News continues right after this.